Hey investors, it is Battle Beverages. We got Pepsi, Coke, and Brown-Foreman. Come on, let's dive in and see who's right for you. A couple reminders before we get started. First of all, in order for companies to qualify to be on our list, they either have to have increasing cash flow for 17 years, increasing earnings per share for 17 years, or increasing dividends per share for 17 years. We do allow one flat year, and in the case of cash flow and earnings, a negative year. If you like what I'm doing, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, ring that bell so you don't miss an episode, and share with your friends so they can join in the conversation. All right, let's get into this. Okay, we are starting out with Brown-Foreman B shares, that's BFB. Their yield is 1.3% on $52.89 a share, valid 19 April. You can see that they are not qualified for cash flow or earnings per share, but they are a Div 0, so 17 years of increasing dividends per share. But at 1.3%, it's really hard to call that an income play. Now here's what they look like on the long-term trend. Nice generally upward slopes for cash flow and earnings per share, and they follow each other closely. Dividends also trending up, but not very steep. And here's the year-to-year change. Now compare that to Coca-Cola, ticker KO. Remember, it's green here because I own shares in Coca-Cola. Their yield is 3.4%. Now that's filled with gold because it is greater than the benchmark of 2.6% that I use. That yield is based on a share price of 46.67. Coca-Cola is not qualified for cash flow per share or earnings per share, but they are a Div 0. And in this case, that 17 years of increasing dividends per share does make it a reasonable income play at 3.4%. Here's their long-term trend line. Now they kind of had a little bit of trouble here, but they're recovering now from 17 on. And you can see that that dividend line is a nice upward trend. Here is the year-to-year changes. So here you see where Coke ran into some trouble, but they're pulling themselves back out again. Probably no surprise, but Pepsi's on the list. PEP, their yield is 3.1%, and that's on a share price of 122.17. Now, just like Coke, they are not qualified for cash flow per share or earnings per share, but they are qualified as a Div 0. And that 3.1 takes on even more meaning when it is against a $122 share price. Here is their long-term trend, just like Coke. It's a nice upward trend, but it's a bit more stable than Coke's. And here is the year-to-year change. You can see they had a couple of misses in there, but they didn't have that big steady miss the way Coca-Cola did. All right, let's do some side-by-side comparisons here. This is a lot more fun. Now here's the cash flow per share trends. You can see Brown-Foreman in blue, Coca-Cola is the red dotted line, and Pepsi is the purple dashed line. Look at that. Pepsi is outperforming Coke and Brown-Foreman on the long-term trend for cash flow per share. Earnings per share, we also see Pepsi outperforming Coke and Brown-Foreman. And in dividends per share, again, we see Pepsi outperforming Coke. Even though Coke has a higher yield in percentage, Pepsi's got a higher dividend because that 3.1 is on a $122 per share price. Brown-Foreman down here in third place. All right, so it looks to me like Pepsi is the play here for the beverage industry. It's a decent dividend play. It's a safe play. If you really want to play it safe, you get Coke and Pepsi and let the two of them battle it out while you're pulling in those dividends. I'd like to hear what you have to say. I hope you enjoyed the discussion. Please leave your comments down below and get your friends online here and into the discussion as well. Have a great week.